name written in the notebook and the whole nine. And I tried to tell her then, I was like, baby girl, I can promise you that you will meet somebody else. Because I think she had said she saw him standing at the locker talking to another girl one day, and she was just so heartbroken, like the world was gonna end. And I would say you'll date, other guys when you get old enough to where you really need to be dating anyway. You'll date other guys. And now that takes me into, I mentioned earlier that when I was coming up, the word date meant that you were monogamous. You were in a relationship with one person. I didn't find out what most people view dating as until like 2 or 3 years ago, when a woman told me that dating is talking to multiple people, going out with multiple people until you kind of figure out or decide who you want to give all of your attention to. Now, do you think personally that that's a healthy way to be? Do you think that you can find quote unquote your person doing it that way? Or what are your thoughts on, dating, the essence of dating?
You've heard that old term, put all your eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that that's what the process of dating is. You're dating, not necessarily sexual, but you're dating. If you want to, that's your business. But if you're dating other people. You're dating, and you let the person know, hey, I'm dating. I'm just trying to, go out here and test the waters and figure out what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Then at some point, maybe you'll eventually meet somebody where you guys are very compatible with each other and you like each other and things are cool with each other. That's when you take that mature adult approach and say, hey, I got to cut these folks off and now I want to focus on this person. That's when you tell that, you and that person talk about it and see if that's what he want and you want. And then you say, okay, let's focus on each other and everybody else cut off.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody's, numbers are erased. And then you maintain that focus on that one person. And that's exclusive. That's being exclusive. So many people go on a first date, then all of a sudden they cut off everybody and everything.
Yep.
They don't have any other options. So you don't have anything to compare it to. You just believe in and listening to whatever this person's saying to you, and that is the only person you're focusing on. And then, there are things that you like about them, but there's so many other things you may not like about that person, but you don't have anything else to do. So you stay with it. And I don't think that's healthy.
And I think
single people should date.
And it's probably not healthy because I fell victim to that. I was that person that would talk to one person and then put all the eggs in one basket, because I guess you have to know who you are, like I said, and I know me and my personality, the way I am. If I spread myself between multiple women, then I can assure you that I'm going to find something in every last one of those women that's getting my time that will keep me there long enough to where I don't want to detach from it. So it never worked for me to be a multiple dater, because I stay in those multiple dating streets, so to speak. I'm not the type that could do that and then say, okay, well, woman A is a little bit better than the rest of them, so I guess I'm gonna see, where it goes with woman A, and now I wanna, stop and just be with this one person. It just never worked that way for me. That's why most of the times that just never ended well for me. So I agree that it's not a healthy thing to do, I guess, to just be with one, because for one, if you start out that way, you don't really know this person yet. And while you're getting to know them, if something goes awry or it doesn't go the way that you thought it was going to go, or you may be giving more than what they're giving, it can just go so many different ways. But a large issue is that most people aren't forthcoming enough in the beginning, like you said, to say, hey, I want to date multiple people. I don't want anything serious right now. The problem is that a lot of people are going into it with that mindset, but their mouth is saying something else.
Something different, yeah. Absolutely. And that's a shame because I wouldn't suggest dating 6 or 7 different people, but if, being a single woman and I'm like, okay, well, if I'm, I like, Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has a lot, some different things. But then here go Kenneth. Kenneth is pretty cool. So I hang out with him for a little bit. And then, then I just kind of narrow it down between the two of what. And I think it's so important. It's not about what you feel for that person. It's how that person makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
How does that person make you feel when you're with them? Who are you when you're with that person? How do you behave? How do you act? I'm goofy. So if I could be goofy and crazy with you and we can, have a good time and we can laugh and do all the other stuff, and then I have my moments where I'm really serious, and if you can keep up with all the moods, then we might can do something. But then there are some men that aren't like that. They're very across the board serious.
Yeah.
And, Kenneth is serious a lot, but he likes to do certain things, so he likes to travel. But then Leroy over here, he's really goofy, he's really funny, but he's a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to get out and do things. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't suggest spread yourself around to 6 or 7 different people, but I would say, feel around a little bit as you're single and try to learn who you are. As you know who you are, it won't take you long to figure out who you want to be with anyway.
That's true.
If you know who you are.
That is true.
A few days in 5 minutes, you know if you like them.
Mm-hmm.
After that first date, if you're going to see him again. Most women know if they're going to have sex with the man after the first date.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be throwing hints and they'll be letting them person know I'm physically attracted and sexually attracted and all kind of attracted.
Mm-hmm.
But we
That's
still
right.
need to learn who we're with. If people, and I have to stress, I can't stress this enough. If you get into anything, if you start dating with honesty from the jump, there's nothing to hide. There'll be nothing that comes out of the woodwork later on, because right then and there you already know this is what I'm doing, this is who I'm with, and this is where we're going. And if it doesn't work and if it don't feel right, stay friends. You don't have to be in a relationship.
Absolutely.
You don't have to end it because you're not compatible in a relationship. Y'all can still just be cool and hang out whenever, but you're not gonna be together. And we'll let that be said at the beginning, like, we like each other as friends, but we can't be in a relationship. And if you two are cool with that, then let it be what it is. But let that person know, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to find my mate. So let me do that. If they're not comfortable with just being your friend, they have to move out of your way, because what are you doing? You're wasting your time on someone that you're not going to ever be with.
Doggone right. Mm-hmm.
And life is too short for that.
You ain't never lied. Life goes by so doggone quick. And we're actually, you have so many great points. We're at the moment now where others have listened to us enough to where they may want to come on and speak a little bit. And I see we have Miss Nikita Hunt waiting to come on and give her input on it. So let's bring her on. And then after she speaks, I want you to hop back on and give your take on what she has to say.
Okay.
Okay. She's coming on now. This is good. This is good stuff. My wine's almost gone, but it's good stuff. Hello. What's going on?
What's up with you? You have created a monster. I am addicted. I'm like, what time is it? I gotta log on. But
I love it.
I ain't gonna hold you long. Isha, we're getting married, you and I, because at this point you are spot on. Like, you can tell, like, everything you're saying is right. Like, you have to get to know somebody. You have to be open-minded. And what did I just say to you, Sally? Expect nothing but prepare for anything.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yep. So, it's like you said when you were talking about your daughters dating Isha, that, these are probably not going to be the people that you're going to end up with, more than likely. And a lot of times people confuse love with being, now I might sound crazy, having love for
Yeah.
love and being in love. So sometimes it's just infatuation.
That's right.
And then again, like she said, sometimes you love them and then they turn into something different and then you fall out of love with them. And then sometimes that person just gives you that feeling right in the pit of your stomach, and that's in love.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to move without them. You don't want to do anything without them.
Yes.
But it's all very confusing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It can send you in a tailspin. I mean, it could be several different things. But even if you date, like you said, you can't date. I can't date. It's not going to happen. And I think the reason is because I'm such a nurturing and loving person. I'm going to find 10 things in you probably that I'm going to like, oh, I love him.
Yep.
I got to keep him. And then I'm not going to want to see anybody else.
Exactly.
But I can also confuse those things because I've been in a bad relationship before, or, not. And then you're doing all the things that check off on my list like we talked about before. And it's like, that's it. He's the one. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, Isha, we'll have our wedding next year. I'll be the one to officiate because, as he said, I'm a doula, life coach, meditation, notary, ordained minister, whatever. I'm going to sell stock later, but I'm going to get out. Goodbye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, babe.
All right.
Okay, we got Ms. Sims wants to come back up. Let's see what her and her friend Tina got to say now. I'm sure Tina's in.
I'm back. Well, I mean, it's a few things I've heard, and I'm trying to now. Let's see here. Now, if we're talking about I'm gonna ask you if we're talking about just dating, because like you mentioned, back in the day, yes, dating for us meant you're exclusive with one person.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it has changed.
Oh yeah, it's different now.
Yeah, nowadays dating is multiple people, which I have heard. Someone told me that if you're not married, you're considered single.
That's facts.
That's right. So you can actually date. So okay, as we're sticking to the topic, is love enough? Is it enough when it's considered just dating then? Because say for instance, you can meet someone and they can say, "Oh, I think you're pretty. I like you." Well, okay, what do you like? Because you just met you. What do you like? Okay, so then you might say couple weeks in, what if a person says, "I love you"? What do you think on that? Do you think in 2 weeks a person, because they're doing it a lot nowadays, trust me.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't know if they just saying it just to be saying it, because, and if you're talking about it at that standpoint, is love enough when it comes to that particular thing?
I think
And just dating.
if I were to, and I'll say this too, with me it's different because when people say things to me, I would hope that they understand that I have a certain degree of paranoia and anxiety to begin with. So when I hear "I love you," the first thing that computes to me is, like you were saying, the amount of time that has been in it. Have we went through anything together? Have you only seen me at my best? Have you seen me at my worst? All of those things go through my head. And if I come back with those answers on no, then I then start thinking about, okay, what is my benefit to this person that's saying that? How do I benefit this person? Because 9 times out of 10, when people tell you they love you, somewhere before they ever say they love you, they tell you what you bring to their life. They tell you, hey, you bring me peace, or when I talk to you, I feel so free, or, I everything seems organic with you, or, you make me think, you inspire me. There are always these things that you hear that bring value to a person's life before they say they love you. Now, if you can't attach them saying "I love you" to anything that brings value to their life, then it raises an eyebrow for me. Cause I'm like, it's like I was saying with women that have told me they've been in situations and then they get out of those situations and they telling me how this man did this and this man did that. It's normally so many negative things. And then when I say, well, why did you stay with him? They say, I loved him. And I'm like, okay, why didn't you tell me any of those good things then? What did you love exactly?
Right. So if you meet them and a couple of weeks pass and they say, I love you, do you say I love you back?
Nah, I'm not telling nobody I love them if I don't love them. If I'm
So if
nah,
they say,
and
so
only
if they say, I
because
love you, what do you say back?
I've had that happen before, and I asked her why. Because you gonna have to tell me, because I made the mistake. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but most mistakes that I make, I don't make more than once or twice because I try to learn from them. I made a mistake of doing that before, just saying what I felt like she wanted to hear, and it kind of pressed me into a corner because she said it. And then a lot of times, I don't know how women look at this, but a lot of times when men hear certain things from women, we so don't want the confrontation or to hurt feelings or something like that, to where a lot of times we'll say something and it's not totally factual, especially when it comes to something like that. If it's a short amount of time, and this is not saying this is what all guys do, but I know enough guys that fall into this category to say this. If a woman says, oh, I love you, and 9 times out of 10, most dudes, especially back in the day, they're not going to say nothing like, oh, well, that's sweet, or, oh, that's nice. I don't love you yet, though. I mean, most of them just fall in. It's like a thin line between love and hate. When she told Martin, when he was trying to sleep with her, and he told her that he loved her because he knew that was what was going to get him what he wanted. Now, he didn't anticipate what comes behind that, because some people take love very seriously. And I'm one of those people that if you tell me you love me, then you do some crazy stuff. I'm questioning more than just that act. I'm questioning a whole lot of stuff then, because love to me looks a certain way.
Right. So is love enough when it's just dating?
No, footnote. And we live in a time now, love ain't shit. I mean, if we're being honest, we live in a space now where love is not even enough when you're married. So dating, there is no freaking all gloves are off when you're dating, because you hope that the person that you're dating is on the same, wavelength that you're on. But if you happen to get involved with somebody that is not looking at relationships or not looking at love the way that you're looking at it, then it's only a matter of time before shit gonna hit the fan.
Right. Now, something Miss Cook said earlier, and I was saying, that's true. When let's see, can you say you really love somebody when there's troubled times? If like, say for instance, like she said, everything is going all good, is everything lovey-dovey, but when I have a traumatic experience in my life, something has happened, are you still there? And like she said, and when they can back out of it, that right there tells me they didn't really love me. And in my opinion, they done already checked out anyway. They probably just waiting for something more serious to have an excuse to go and leave. Because if you are, and like she said too, sometimes they change. Certain things start changing, like the conversation might start changing. They no longer give you a kiss goodnight. All those things. In my head, I'm already thinking you done already checked out.
Mm-hmm.
You was already, but you're just waiting for an excuse for something bigger, so you can go ahead and cross that line. But if you done already start checking out, you might as well check on out with me, because you don't need to wait till nothing happened.
Shoot,
that already shows me that the love is not enough. It wasn't enough for you.
I've doggone waited before where I should have ran like Peter Rabbit. It's been times where I was in situations and it wasn't so much the love for the person, more so the love for things that was connected. Because I've been in situations before where if I was giving advice to another guy and certain things happened, I would have said, "Yo, bro, you need to be up out of there," because it's more so tearing you down than building you up. But a lot of times, I know if men do it, that women are doing it too. But a lot of times, we as men, especially when we have children, with a person, or if they have kids that we've bonded with, there are a lot of times that people stay in situations that go far beyond the actual person they're in relationship with, like the spouse. Because there have been things I've stayed in longer than I wanted to, because you don't want to have broken homes, or you don't want family members or something to look at you a certain kind of way. Or sometimes if you're in the church heavy, sometimes people stay in stuff because they don't want the congregation and everything to think certain things. But once I got to the point where I didn't care about any of that kind of stuff, things get so much easier, because you normally don't align yourself with people that are too far off from your vision and your goals and what you want out of life anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So, like you all of you all saying, love is deep. It's complicated. It's deep. It's dangerous. It's a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, do you
somebody
think?
else's time to go ahead.
Well, hasn't nobody is asked to come up again yet? So I'm gonna ask you this: Do you think that you can love someone? Well, let me see how I want to word this. Can the love that you have for someone be so strong to where if they do something that kind of betrays your trust or something like that, you can bring bodily harm to them?
Okay, so you saying if the love is so strong, they do something kind of.
If you feel so
That's-
betrayed to where it causes you to now want to hurt someone that you felt like or feel like you love.
Now that I'm gonna say, because love hurts. Yeah. but that's complex though too, because if you really truly and deeply love something, you don't hurt them. You won't ever do anything to hurt them. You won't want to, but at the same time, then you have somebody betray you so bad. I mean, so bad that you never would have thought they would have done that. It will make you want to hurt them. So that's complex.
Yeah.
That's really complex. Now, you can say, and so my opinion is, okay, when people say they love you too, this is another topic. When people say they love you, you can tell if they really do or not, because if they really do, then they would never do anything to hurt you. They won't do any cheating. They won't do any lying. They won't do any sneakiness, because you couldn't. Because if I truly love you, then I'm not doing none of those things. I don't want to. Because if you love somebody, you don't want to hurt them. You want them to always be secure and at peace. And you always want them to feel that love. So anytime that's how you know. Anytime somebody tell you they love you, and then they do some undermining stuff, anything gets sneaky, any kind, you catch them in their lies, you do this, they don't really love you. They don't.
Now,
I don't know why they're saying it, but they don't.
I was gonna say keep that statement in mind, because we gonna elaborate on that, but I'm gonna bring somebody else up real quick, and when they finish, I'm gonna ask a question that kind of goes in line with that, and y'all can tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
All right, we got somebody else coming up. See their take on it. I told y'all it's good stuff. It's complex, but it's good stuff. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, well, my take on is love is enough. Love used to be love back in the day when my parents were together.
Mm-hmm.
They had me, of course. I'm like, the way love is now is not the way love was when my parents were together. So when I got married, when I got with my husband back in 1995, I said, well, we still have a chance. We're not in the new millennium where love is not love how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I had a chance since I got with him in 1995. And I mean, love was everything. You know, he did everything for me. Provide. We went through hardship. We went through all kinds of things, and love doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But after 27 years, he decided he wanted to leave. So for love to me now, it's going to be a little bit harder for me, because love, when I thought was actually love, you went through hardship. He was there for you 24/7. He provided. He made sure you were okay. Just like how you would think someone that really loves you is. And so now that he's left, or, you know, left me, now it's like, what is love now? You know, what is there actually true love, like how it used to be back when our grandparents were alive? Of course, they went through the hardship. They went through, you know, the stuff that normal marriage relationship went through, which, you know, it has its ups and its downs, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But love, is it really love like how it used to be back in the days?
Well, love definitely was enough back then, but I'm going to say this too, because I heard you say it's not what it was. Do you think that love actually changed, or did the people change?
The people changed the way love is now.
So do you think those people were truly in love?
I think they were. Some people, like how some people say, I can fall in love and I can fall out of love. Mm-hmm. Some people do say that. But I think when people first meet each other and they think everything is fine, they really do love each other. I guess something happens where then things happen. I mean, I know things happen where they don't work out. But when you truly love somebody, it's heartbreaking, you know, when
mm-hmm.
it doesn't work out.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I absolutely agree with you, because I used to tell people all the time that, because even the relationships that didn't work for me, I ended up, they were never on such bad terms to where we couldn't have a civil conversation afterwards. And time would go by, and I'd be asked these questions about love, and I tell them my love doesn't operate like a light switch. I can't just cut it on and off whenever I feel like it. So a lot of times, even though I didn't show it, you know, outwardly, if I'm truly in love with a person and it doesn't work, then I'm liable to be sitting on a pier somewhere eating saltine crackers and doggone Campbell soup, because I be toe up. Right. And a lot of times I was, you know, moving on to the next, you know, to try to wash that pain away, to
right.
try to, you know, fill that void with something else.
Right. And it's people can work on themselves all day long. Like, I can work on myself and make myself a better person. But if you meet someone else that has not done the job, you know, and has not worked on themselves, it makes it a little bit complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Where they might define love a certain way, and you might define love with pure and honest love. And someone that has not really worked on themselves and pretty much learned themselves cannot love you wholeheartedly. So
that's right.
Yeah, but that was just my little input. You know, love is not enough. No, love comes with a lot of different angles, but it's hard nowadays. Is the way society is, the way just everything is. It's kind of hard to actually even hear the word love, because a lot of people, they use it just loosely. You know.
Oh yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your input. I truly appreciate you. Please continue to listen. Continue to hop on whenever you feel like hopping on.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Let's let Miss Hunt pop back up on here. And Miss Isha, I hope you didn't run now. You got to come back up here.
Charmaine, kisses, baby, kisses. I feel you. But you know that song by Jay-Z and Beyonce, On the Run?
Oh yeah.
And it says, "Who wants a perfect love story anyway?" It's
Mhm.
cliche.
I love that
Cliche.
song.
Do we? I'm asking everybody. Do we even want love?
I want pure love.
Especially after you've been through something like Charmaine, 27 years, child, y'all be looking for me.
That's a
You know what I'm
long
saying?
time.
I'll be in the woods somewhere. They be like, "Where's Nikita?" She gone.
I'm trying to
I
tell
mean,
you.
when I say gone, physically, mentally, I'll be gone. 27 years.
Yeah.
And then you ask the question, when you love somebody enough, would you hurt them? I've been jumped on him.
Yeah, that's a different kind of pain right there.
That's a different pain. So,
Yeah.
you know, you look at that at, like you said, all angles. How long have you been together? You know what I'm saying? What was all entailed in that relationship? Like, that's a lot. So
Yeah.
again, Charmaine, I send you kisses, but do I even want love? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think I do anymore. It's too much.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are in that boat with you. I mean, maybe it's all the saltine crackers and Campbell's soup that screwed me up, but I love love. I do. And that's why I say it's the freaking people. You have to align yourself with the right kind of people, because it's a beautiful thing when you have the right person walking that walk with you. But when we get all these doggone gator mouth hoes and scallywag dudes that's going around here tainting people for no better reason than to just taint them, that's when it gets messed up, and it's like a disease that just touches everybody, because it spreads from the person that got hurt, and they carry some of that on to the next cat, and then it just grows and grows and grows until we get in this position to where we look around and everything looks phony. Nothing feels real. Nothing looks real.
It's you're infected, and the thing about it is, like I told you on the other show, I'm so agape that it's like all of it. And when we say love, I love everybody. I'll tell you, hey, love you, but it's not like I love you. You know, it's love you.
Yeah.
See you, talk to you later. But when I have that agape for a person in a relationship, when it's over and done with, I still love them. I'm like you. It don't turn on and off that quick.
Yep.
I still love you. I got love for you. I don't feel that way about you anymore, but I love you. I don't want to see anything happen to you or anything like that. But I just, at my age, 51, I mean, it may happen, but right now, in this current time, I don't want love. I don't want it. I don't want it.
But I tell you this, doggone it. Now, there was one wench. It was a wench I was with where I wished.
Drinking wine again,
yes, but I wished bad on this woman. I really did, and I would tell people about her, and they'd be like, "Nah, come on, you doing more harm to yourself wishing bad on her." I was like, "Well, doggone it don't feel bad. It makes me feel good. It gives me pleasure to think about her having a hard time." And it was more so as time went on, I found out that it wasn't so much that I loved her and she hurt me, but it was the bloody audacity for me. It was like, how dare you do some of the stuff you did to a cat like me? That's what pissed me off. And to this freaking day, and this was 12 bloody years ago, to this day, if I were to see her stub her freaking toe, I'd probably go over and step on it. Straight up. Because it's a whole nother segment for me to talk about why that one hit me so much. But I say that to say this. Love is definitely not enough for, depending on the situation. Some situations it is, some it's not. Because that particular situation, because I believe I said earlier that sometimes we as men hold on to things longer than we would like to because of what's attached to the actual person. And so it was, I hate to say this, but my hatred for this human being was so bloody strong that it didn't matter what was attached to her. I wanted her to take shorter breaths. I'll just say that. It was freaking bad. But But yeah, it's so many different levels to it. It's not as easy as just saying, okay, I love. 'Cause like you even spoke on agape love. There, and I used to know them, like the back of my hand, but I think it's 4 or 5 different ones. But yeah, it's a lot of people hear love, and that's just what it is. And we're in a time now where love is getting thrown around like somebody saying they want to go to a restaurant. I mean, it means nothing to a lot of people now.
Yeah.
That's why I have to feel it. Like it has to be more than just saying, Salid, I love you. There has to be something more attached to it. Now, thankfully, I've been blessed enough to not meet the kind of people that I used to meet, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. So
Yes.
once you, I believe once you really learn yourself and once you really fall in love with yourself, that's not to say that every single person that you come in contact with is going to be A1, but you kind of limit the amount of idiots that you deal with.
Right. You do. You do. And I want to pose this as well. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. You gonna come
You
back on?
good. You good.
So, do you think the way people love is based off of how their parents and grandparents, and so let me tell you, my grandfather, he was actually my step granddad, and my grandmother were together. She died about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He died like 2 years ago. And he has I think like 12, 13 children. She only has 6. So, and when they died, they were in their 90s, 80s and 90s. But she's shot him. She had shot him.
With a pistol?
Yeah, with a gun. Yeah, not with an arrow, with a pistol. Shot him, and they lived in separate houses, but they would still congregate and, all that good stuff. And by the time they died, they were living in the same house, in separate bedrooms, of course, but in the same house. So as she was saying, it's love then might have been just love and not in love. It's just a familiarity, like you're used to being around somebody.
Yeah.
And then, back then they had several different families. Men had, a wife, 2 or 3 girlfriends, and they all came together. We talked about that. But they always still ended up together. So I'm trying to figure out is the way that I am about love and how deeply I love is because of what I've seen with my family, and I just don't want to, like, they were toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I don't want to be that way, so I'm just going to love as hard as I can. I mean, I don't know.
I think we are influenced by those that we are up under and those that raise us and things that we see. Now, does it ultimately make us who we are? It's hard to say, because I saw so many different things growing up, but one thing in particular, let's just talk about the discipline aspect. My father was a total old school disciplinarian, whereas sometimes you didn't even have to do anything totally out there to get your ass smacked. So that's all I knew. But yet and still, when I started having kids, and like I said, I have a nation of them, I haven't laid hands on any of my children, not even once, so
Really?
yeah, I was totally different, because even as a child, while I was getting my head smashed to a wall, not literally, but the whole time I was thinking, okay, you don't have to do this to get me to do what you want me to do. You know what I mean? So I always felt like when I started having kids, I was always like, okay, there are a lot of different ways to get them to do what I want them to do. And thankfully, I've not, and that's not saying I have perfect children, but I've never had to go beyond the communication part of it to get them to either step in line or bump their head enough to know, okay, this isn't what I want, because we can't save them from everything. And some of my kids have, traveled down a road before that I'm sure if they could do it all over again, they wouldn't, but they had to learn it in their own way. So I think there are things that kind of shape us, but at some point, I think we all reach a point in life where we take the bits and pieces that we need from what we learn and we kind of add our own stuff to it to where it fits us.
Got you. Okay. I got it. That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, I'll let Isha come back. I'm not coming back on no more.
Yeah, you say that, but if you gotta come back on, just come back on, cause I want Nisha to come back up too.
Okay.
So,
all right. Go ahead and hang up on me.
all right, I got you.
All right. Okay.
I thought I had you anyway. It might not. It normally let me go on the key. You might have to do it yourself this time. I guess it's tired of me kicking you down. But this will get you off though. I got somebody else coming up. Miss Tina and T. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So first I'm gonna say, I can't believe you. 12 years ago, and you still feel like they let that go. Let what Tawanda did. Let that go. Let it go. And
I've let it go. I've let it go enough to where it doesn't affect me, anymore. But if I doubt if I'll see her again. But if I did, yeah, she stubbed that toe. I'm still stepping on it.
But did you hear what I said? I said, let what Tawanda did, let that go. So now back on. I got to say for Miss Nikita and Miss Charmaine, ladies, I can't let them go out like that. Listen here, Miss Charmaine and Miss Nikita. Now, I've been there when you ladies have been. I've been there. I mean, it's been bad, but I still didn't let that stop me from loving. And the reason why is because, like Dr. James said, God is love. So, and that's one of his, commandments. We must love one another. So, you have to have love. You're gonna love. Both of y'all are some beautiful ladies. Seem intelligent and very sweet. So, you are gonna find. Not only say find, but you will have a man in your life, and you might feel like you don't want to love because of what you've been through. Like Miss Romaine, I think her ex-husband has made her feel like she, she just been torn away from him. That's just one guy. I don't want her to feel like just because that one guy was stupid and didn't know what he wanted, she should not be feel bad on love. And like she said, love back in the day is not the way it is now. That's on people. That's this generation. Yeah. This generation. But for me, and I'm old school, so I'm still feeling the same way. So I'm gonna connect with somebody I feel that's old school, have those same values, same way too. But it doesn't matter, because even if the person I'm with doesn't feel the same way and it don't work out, I'm still gonna be on that quest, like, hey, whatever God has for me. But I think those ladies should be, if Miss Nikita, I think she said she don't even want to love right now. Mm-hmm. But Miss Nikita, let me tell you, this done happened to me too before. You can say that, but you'll never know who God can bring into your life. I think it's one of my favorite songs back in the day, Babyface, is Love Make Things Happen. You can meet somebody at a gas station. You could be minding your own business, walking in the grocery store, and God will send that person to you. So you just got to be open and ready to receive it.
Yo.
Don't, because sometimes us ladies, and I have done it too. You've been hurt so bad before that you could miss that person that God has sent for you because you have this wall up and you don't want to give them that opportunity when that could be the one. You never know. Just always be open. And, if it don't work out, it don't work out. But you'll be able to know. You'll be able to know if it's God sent. But them ladies, they too intelligent, too beautiful to just be like, I don't want to love because, no, we deserve love because God is love. We deserve it. And it's rewarding. And don't let these men have you like that, because it's not making it's just nah.
Yeah, because the guy that is for you could be there waiting to bag up your saltines and Campbell's soup. I mean, you just never know. But I will say this: it gets so frustrating. I can understand when a lot of women say, they've given up on love and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that men don't get like that, but men aren't as vocal when they feel that way. So I'll say I can understand where a lot of the ladies come from when they say stuff like that, because it's heartbreaking, it's frustrating. It downright pisses you off sometimes that you give 100% to somebody, and like I said earlier, that person has the unmitigated gall to darn treat you like you're nothing. I mean, that hurts. It brings all these things out of you, and so it's not that. And if I'm wrong, those ladies can tell me, but I think it's not so much that they don't believe in love, but I think people so don't want to feel that hurt again, to where they put up that defense mechanism. Like, okay, it's almost like when you touch a hot stove, every time you go toward that stove without even thinking about it, you kind of move to the side or something like that. And so I think a lot of times that's what we as people do, is we try to protect ourselves from that hurt and that embarrassment and things like that. Because I will say, not to keep jumping on Miss Charmaine, but 20 plus years in the game, I pity the fool that make me love them for 27 doggone years and they just darn skip up and leave. It's about to be some 2020 Dateline action going on, because
but that's his loss though.
Oh, definitely.
Because you reap what you sow.
Yep.
So if you do somebody, and I didn't write it, that's in the Bible. So if you do somebody a certain kind of way, he might feel like grass is greener, he can do whatever he's doing now, but he will reap what he's sowing. He will reap it.
And I'll say, and let me say this too, because I don't want it to seem like I feel like just because something doesn't last, that means that it shouldn't have, if that makes sense. Because there are some things that are only for a season. Now, that's a mighty long season, 20 plus years. But a lot of times people, one or both parties don't take the time to sit down and communicate and work through things. Because I feel like if you can be with somebody for that long, then I would hope to think that whatever could have been fixed within reason. Okay,
it could have been if two people wanted to fix it.
Exactly.
He obviously didn't want to fix it.
Exactly.
But she shouldn't give up on love. I feel like, everybody make mistakes. We all have flaws.
Yep.
We're never gonna find the perfect mate. So
nope.
If it didn't work out, it hurt, and it's gonna take probably. I don't know how long it's been. I forgot how long it's been since he left, but it's gonna take her a while, because when I first got betrayed by the love of my life, first my love, it took years. But the thing is, you don't stop loving. Like I can't let because I'm too I don't know how to say it. I'm too bullheaded where I can't feel like I let you win. Like so it's like I feel like you won if I'm down and out and I ain't did my hair and it's stick on top of my head and I'm sitting down sweating and not eating and I got weak as water from not eating because you make me say, oh no.
That's why you got to keep those crackers and Campbell's soup pumped in you.
Honey, no, I'm too much of a deal for that. I'm gonna keep on pushing, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna look up and you're gonna see that I done got married. While you scrolling on Facebook, you're gonna look and see me and my picture of my new man on Facebook. That's what's gonna happen. Then you're gonna try to keep calling back, and then it's gonna be too late because that line gonna be there. Lord, let me stop. All I want knows I don't want them ladies to say too beautiful, too good. Everyone deserves love. Everyone can have love, and just because it didn't work out with one or two, whatever, that don't mean nothing. They shouldn't stop.
Because there are an awful lot of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I know for a fact they'll find it. They'll find it. Now they might not want it right now, but hey, it is what it is when it comes to that.
They don't want it, but it's gonna come to them. That's what's gonna happen because it always like that. I've said it before too. I ain't want nobody right now. And as soon as I did, boom, just something pops up. I'm like, where does this come from?
Because one thing about fish is fish gonna keep on swimming.
It's gonna keep on flopping and swimming, yes. And one fish spoils, throw it away, and get another one. honey, you gonna have somebody. It might be somebody listening to you tonight. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because God, He works like that. You just never know. But I just want them to be open to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. But be open to it. You know, you be so full. I'm just so full of love, and I love love. So just be so full of love that you just open to whatever. You know, have fun. You know, you meet somebody, have fun. You know, don't put your. I wouldn't say fall from right away or whatever, but just have fun. But if you do,
Yeah. Hey, if you do, you do.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because things take,
So
the healing process takes time. For some people. I mean, some people can heal in 24 hours and some people take 2 to 4 years to heal. I mean, everybody's different.
Right. But to answer Ms. Charmaine, your love is still the same. It's the people.
Yeah.
And it's who, you know, it's their view on it and whatever else they into. And like I said, if he left that quick, he done checked out probably years before. He was just staying around for something.
Yeah.
And, you know, in my opinion, he should have went ahead and left when he felt like he was checking. Instead of just staying alone. Because one thing I don't like is being strung along.
Yep.
Now, I find that out. I believe I might do what you asked. Would I?
Then you'll be on 2020 Dateline as well.
Well, I'll probably be on Rikers Island or down here at McDougal Correction Center in Columbia or wherever it's at. Because, you know, don't stress my life. If you know that you're talking to somebody else, at least let me know that so I can choose whether or not I still want to partake. Because if you telling me you saying, you know, you kind of talk, then that's fine. I might say that's fine because I'm probably gonna do it too.
And see, that's what I was saying earlier. Now we live in a time where a lot of women are more vocal with telling these guys, hey, do what you want to do. And I'm cool with that because I'll do something too. A lot of them are more open with saying that now, but then some guys hear that and in the back of their head, they're still thinking, oh, well, she just saying that, but what she really wants. And then they do what they want to do anyway, and then wonder why they're getting caught up with flat tires and scratched up darn car doors and stuff.
Right. But okay, so then I'm gonna ask you this too. So if the lady says you can do what you want to do, I am too, then what are we doing then? What be the purpose, you know what I'm saying? What be the purpose of us dating then?
It's because a lot of people, and I think it's been like this for a long time, but it's getting more accepted now, is that especially when you look at polygamous relationships and stuff, there are a lot of things that people are finding in other people that's beneficial for them and the other person enough to where they want to be connected to that person along with person B, C, and D. So it's like, hey, you're my quote unquote main, but we both have these other people that we allow into our family as well. And it's a whole lot of that. Yeah, it's a whole lot of that going on.
And they sure better let me know that, like I said, or it's gonna be some problems.
So you don't want to come home. You couldn't come home. Well, some of them not even sides anymore. Some of them are like equal participants. So if you come home and it's another woman in your kitchen with the apron on cooking for you and your man, you'd have an issue with that. What if he tell you? What if he tell you from jump that he wants you and the girlfriend? Is love enough? Let's say you done fell in love with this man. He tells you this after you've fallen in love with him. Or maybe he just decided this while you guys were, you know, falling in love with each other. Maybe it's something he didn't want in the beginning, but now he's changed. Does love allow you to, is love enough for you to allow a person that you're with to change?
No, love won't be enough because if you done sat there and you done had some woman in my kitchen with an apron on, so you're done, at that point, you're no longer my man. Matter of fact, both of y'all are considered strangers. And that means you broke into my home. That's what I'm considering both of you as. And I'm going to go ahead and defend myself.
Broken into your home?
Yep, both of y'all are considered strangers at the point. You ain't no longer my man if you got another woman in my house with an apron on. You're no longer considered my man. I'm not going to look at you as my man at that point. You're a stranger.
So she can't be standing. She can't be standing there like Ving Rhames was when he was cooking breakfast that morning.
Yeah, right. Picture that. No. no, that's not even gonna happen. Because I don't think I would even deal with somebody that even would try that. Because no, I don't think I could ever be somebody bold enough to try that.
So
Not even as a joke.
So your love would would your love take a back seat, or you would still love the person, but you would love yourself more than that and know that you want to exit stage left?
And there's no one, I'm gonna exit. They gonna exit. There's no, the love it's not enough, and I love myself way more than that. Like I said, the me back in the day when I was younger, I'd be crushed from it, probably get over whatever. The me now, and I still wouldn't took it then, but the me now, I would be done with the situation, and I would turn around and do the same thing. Like I just have another person, before they start blinking out. There's no point in me trying to reconcile with me because I'm not ready to start checking in on somebody else anyway. Since we won't play that game. You know that movie, two can play that game, but that's how it would be. I told you, I'm too grown now. I'm almost, I can tell my age. I'm too grown now, so I'm not finna play those games. Two can play those games. That's what we finna do. You want to play? Okay. Well, let me show you, because actually women can actually play better because we don't get caught up as much because we more, we know sometimes. Man,
yeah, most men not slick. I have to agree with that. Women pretty slick when it comes to playing those doggone games.
Yeah, so we can both play it. So, but I would still say in the beginning, you let me know in the beginning, so I can choose whether or not I want to deal with it or not. You got to be able to. Do you feel like dealing with it or not? Because if we're dealing with it, now this is just in dating, like not just a serious relationship, but just dating. If you're seeing somebody and they say they send somebody else too, okay, well let me know that so I can be seeing somebody else too. Because don't think for 1 minute that I can't see nobody else. You kidding me? Because I think a lot of men think she can't get nobody. She ain't gonna go. No. I'd hate to have to show you. Hate to, because see the thing is with men can do it and think it's okay, blah blah blah. Women do it, and then the man can't take it. Like he's gagging, can't hardly breathe.
Yeah. Eating saltines and Campbell's soup. Yeah, there's definitely a double standard when it comes to that, because unfortunately the majority of men do feel like, hey, I can do this, but for some reason that ego and that pride doesn't allow them to even fathom that their woman could think that anybody other than them are attractive or they might find interest in. And I never understood that, how men would feel like, because I look back on relationships that I've been in, and sometimes, everybody plays the fool, but sometimes you get in a situation too where it wasn't that I was thinking, okay, this person can't get somebody, but sometimes the trust that you put in another person is so on 10 to where you feel like they just wouldn't do A, B, or C. And I had to learn that it's a way you can trust who you're with and still know that, hey, I wouldn't put nothing past them. You don't expect them to do it, but you still know that things happen. Like I wouldn't be shocked. It's not to say that I think that something would happen, but it wouldn't crush me, because I've seen too much and I've done too much and I've lived too doggone long to feel like that just because someone loves me that it's an impossibility for somebody else to catch their eye. I'm not that naive.
Right. Me too. And I feel the same way. I feel like I couldn't be crushed now because, for one, I've already been crushed to the point to know what I've already been so crushed and devastated that now I can't be crushed anymore. The only thing you can do now is just make me like, all right, and go do the same thing, or I might be a little disappointed, but I won't be crushed because, I feel like, I don't know. I just think, like you said, men think that women can't do something, but I'm gonna tell y'all 9 times out of 10, not everybody, But some women, especially nowadays, if they feel like that man is doing something or suspect it, even if they don't say nothing, they already doing something too. Then they're gonna already have them somebody on the side talking to too, just in case, because they already suspecting you doing it.
I already got somebody
You know what I'm
lined up, huh?
Yeah, because if they suspecting that you are doing something.
Yeah.
If they suspect nowadays, if they suspecting it and they done got some little hints and things around, okay. And she ain't gonna say that to you. She ain't gonna say that. She just gonna be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because the days of
somebody waiting to fill your spot.
Yeah, because I think the days of people just allowing people to hurt them and move on and live happy lives while they sitting back crushed and having to rebuild themselves, those days are pretty much gone. Those days are gone. People are, and it's a great thing though, because that means that people are loving themselves enough to say that you won't totally destroy me.
That's right. We're not doing that no more. Not doing it. But yeah, that's all I want to say. I just want to give Miss Charmaine and Miss Nikita some love and let them know, hey, it's coming for us. So don't worry. Just sit back, let God do His work, and if it's meant to be, if it's gonna be, it's gonna be. But don't give up on it.
That's a fact. And I appreciate you pouring into the other sisters too, because we see that a lot. I wish a lot more men would do exactly what you guys are doing, because you guys lift each other up, support each other, know how to kind of connect with certain things that you may have been through, and can give that edification toward each other. But I'm trying to get more men to get in that realm, to where, because there are a lot of things that we go through that are similar to what our other brothers are going through, but for some reason we still haven't gotten to a comfortable point yet to where we will speak completely about it, to where we'll open up about it, to where we're comfortable enough to say, hey, this has happened to me. I know what you're going through. Keep your head up, keep pressing forward. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. And I would get Isha love too. Isha love too.
Yeah. All right. She didn't come back up here, but I'm glad we got what we got out of her, because she had a lot of great points, and I want to take this time. I see that no one else has asked to come back up, so I'm going to assume that everyone was happy with just listening, and people probably frying some eggs or something right now. But I'll say this: thank you, Miss Isha Cook, for coming on and being my guest today. Thank you, T, for coming on and saying what you had to say. Thank Miss Charmaine. Keep your head up. Thank Nikita Hunt. You always know it's love. Thank Dr. Goodman, who's about to come on and say something else. And he's probably going to be the last guest that I bring up, because I have an urge to drink some more wine and eat a couple of donuts. So after Dr. Goodman speaks, I'll probably end it for tonight. And I'll say this before he comes on: please continue to come on every Thursday at 6. It'll be pretty much the same format, but we'll just be talking about something different. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is King Shed Productions. Okay, let me change that. Dr. Goodman will speak, and then Miss Isha Cook will come back, and she will be the final one to speak tonight. But T, thank you for coming on. We'll speak another time. I'm about to bring Dr. Goodman on, and then Miss Isha Cook will be the final person that comes up tonight. Yes, sir.
Well, I must. I'm enjoying the people's talking, and just expressing their feelings, and when I was really young, 9-10 years old, my grandmother said, "Respect your elders, but respect yourself first as a person."
That's good.
Yeah, and so I just it stuck with me, and I still think about that, and times she was reading the Bible, and she would, whatever, is anybody in the house or what, but most of the time, I know the time she's reading, I'm in earshot, and she would say, and take your time with. She read the Bible, and then she said, now take it and walk your path with it. Yeah, and I said to her one day, what part? And she said, what part did you hear? I said, I heard it all. She said, then do it all. No. So
That's good sound advice.
it's like that. Yes. And that's another thing that stuck with me. It's like respect yourself. And everything I said in the very beginning, I love myself, and that's enough. Now, when I have to engage someone else, then yes, I want to extend that, and make it worth their while as well as make it worth my while, because I'm loving them, and I'm telling them I love them for a reason, not just because I need somebody in my life, a companion, yes, all that is good, but still, it's like you have to share your love, and the more you share, the more you have. It will expand, So, well, mine did anyway, because I feel very comfortable about living in this here house and knowing that if we are paid the lights, and lights and gas, and that's about it, like that, and so we ain't out there running the streets, and I'm 65, and she's same age, I do believe. Well, I know we 6 months apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like that, But anyway, it's like, hey, she doing her thing, and I'm doing my thing, and she in college she was making earrings to sort of like just get by, have extra money, and she started doing it the last about 5 months ago, and she done made over $2,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and she was sitting in her room, just sitting there making them, and then we have a studio down here, and start taking pictures, and she started making them down here, and now she got them little M&M boxes. The top, she got about 50 of them with earrings in them that she done made, and people just buying them. One day she left here 5 times. She had 7 orders or something like that. But each one of them was buying 2 sets each. And so each trip she was making $50. So
wow.
Like that. Like, hey.
So she pretty much turned a hobby into a business.
Yeah, and hey.
That's
and
great.
She just said, yeah, that's what I've said, and the other day she was letting me help her and stuff, and I picked up the little tube and twisted up one and kept playing around with it, and I made one, and I was smiling, cheesing, and she said that. She said, yeah, it's good, I noticed she got it and readjusted it, but it's like, hey, I made one, that's the whole thing,
Yeah.
making a little earring. Yeah.
So she done turned you into a worker.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. That's teamwork.
Yeah. And so, hey, that's what I want to, express is, keeping spark going, is little things like that, we having exercises that we do in the bathroom, we both do it. Put a cabinets in there, soft music, maybe a glass of wine, and something treat, and your favorite bubble bath, and you sit there about 30 minutes, and when you're done, you got your total attention on yourself.
Oh yeah.
And then, hey, yeah, she gonna come out. You think I ain't gonna be turned on? I come out, she gonna be turned on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. There you go. And we both can hear the music coming from the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, yeah, she's in there, okay. So it's like that. And one time I went in there and did it and laid down. She got up and went on in there and did it and came back, and just, hey, we had a great time.
Sounds like it.
Like that. So,
yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, and hey, that's part of loving each other and
Mm-hmm.
and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, hey, yes, sir. Every yard is accounted for. Again, I definitely appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate your knowledge. Again, I congratulate you and your wife, because it sounds like you got it pretty down pat. You guys are living a great life, and that's wonderful to hear. And it gives a lot of people that are in relationships and some that aren't, it gives them hope to know that, hey, y'all still out there rocking it, doing it. So I appreciate you, and I hope you tune in next week too.
Yes, now that I'm following you, yes, because I used to just sit here, and in this house actually had studio apartment, as well as 5 bedrooms upstairs, and the basement is as big as the house from one side to the other one, and I put a audio studio down here, but I turned audio apartment, studio apartment into my man cave, so that's where I'm at now, and
Mm-hmm.
so, in this 5 bedrooms upstairs, she had one as the office, her office, because she's an entrepreneur in medical devices, and so, and we both been retired 8 years.
I love it. I love hearing stuff like that. Doctor, we got on Miss Isha Cook gonna come on in and give us her last bit on it. But thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Same here, sir.
Thank you, sir.
King
Shit Talk.
King Shit Talk.
There it is.
Shit.
There it is.
Okay.
All right. Yes, gotta love the good doctor. I love that. They going strong. Here she is.
Hey, there I am.
So
Wow,
Miss Cook, I'm giving you the floor. Lastly, let me see. I thought I was giving it to you lastly, not yet. But you can just go ahead. Then Miss Nakita Hunt gonna come on.
Well, first, I just want to commend everybody that's been on tonight, because wow, so much knowledge, so many things. Miss Nikita, you're doing so many wonderful things. I appreciate hearing about that. Tammy, the encouragement is awesome. Charmaine, I just wanted to say that continue to be strong. We all have to. If we want love, if we want to be loved, continue to be strong and we gotta hold each other together, hold ourselves together. And I wanted to say one thing, that when it comes to love and relationships not working out, where I might do backflips out the window for that person that I love, whoever that might be, whatever, that other person's level of love or commitment may not be the same. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We may not be on that same level as far. They may have a limit of how much they can give love to you. That's on them. We don't carry that for them.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is work on ourselves. We carry the love that we have. As it was mentioned about God is love. I Tammy just mentioned that. Yes, He is. So if we treat others like that, then it'll come to us. It's good to wait on it, and it's good to be patient with it. When it does come, welcome it full and enjoy it and take your time. I used to be a rusher. Sometimes I feel like I can be too. I can still be a little rusher. Like I just, say hello and go on the date and we ready to do something different. And I have to slow down, I think, in a way, not to get all spiritual, but God slowed me down on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because He just told me, hey, you need to be still a little bit and figure yourself out. And once I started to figure myself out and learn who I am, and what I want to say to you too is that when you're talking about that you're not attracting those same people because your energy level is different. You're attracting different because your energy is different.
Exactly.
You change so many things about yourself. So what you're attracting is something. You're pulling that energy, pulling people towards you that may be more better and more wholesome for you. So that's a good thing. So continue whatever it is you're doing, keep doing that. And continue doing this because I really appreciate it. I enjoyed being on here today. Women, love yourself. Take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health. And when that man does come, don't treat him as if he has to be responsible for anything that someone else has done to you in your past. If you're still holding on to anything that someone's done to you in your past, you are not ready for a relationship. Stay by yourself. Take care of yourself. Get yourself healed and taken care of. Then step out there because we start fresh with the new person. Whatever happened in our past, leave it back there because it's not going to do us no good carrying it with us because we got too much baggage to carry anyway. So, just enjoy what you have and enjoy yourself and love you. And that energy will radiate across the board and you'll attract something that's beneficial and that's worthy. And realize that you are worthy of love. You are worthy to be respected. So if you're not getting that love and respect by whoever you're with and whoever you're around, hit the door and stay gone.
That's the absolute truth right there.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much. I appreciate being on here with you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming on. And how can everyone that's listening, how can they get in contact with you if they need to? Do you want to tell them about any of your social media platforms or your work? I believe you said you're entrepreneur, correct?
No, I do. I clock into work every day, but I work in a mental health unit. But
that's right.
You can find me on Facebook, Isha Cook on Facebook, and then also I have an Instagram, The Life Coach on Instagram, and that's basically all my social media. I don't have a whole lot. And you can reach out to me here. I have an account on here as well.
That's wonderful. Everybody, please go follow Miss Isha Cook. Thank you again for coming on. You're a wonderful guest. I thank everyone that came on and spoke their truths, gave their insight, gave us a little bird's eye view of how we all are the same yet different at the same time. We all have certain things that we're going through. We all get through it in different ways, but the key is getting through it. Keep pressing forward. Continue to be who you are. Love yourself first and foremost. And things will go the way they're supposed to go. I again say, continue to come on.
Let me ask you this real quick, not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
You good.
How do others, do they have to download the app in order for them to listen to this, what we talked about tonight?
I didn't think so before, but I believe that is how it goes. I think they have to, unless you send them if you share it with them, I don't think they'll have to download the app. But for the most part, if they download the app, they can listen to this episode, other episodes, they can follow you and things like that. But that's the way they just let them know. Just to download the app.
Okay. I had a few people text me, ask me because they weren't able to, start at the beginning. And I was like, I have to check it out and see. But all right, you have a good night, and everybody that's listening. And I thank you guys for let me visit.
You have a wonderful night and come back anytime.
All right, will do.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all, that was wonderful. I'll say again, I appreciate everyone that's listening, everyone that came on. This has been a very eye opening and a great, show. Can't wait to let you guys know what next week's topic is going to be. It's going to be a good one. Believe me, those that don't follow me on Facebook at Salid Sims or aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel will probably have to wait until next Thursday to know what the topic is. But those that follow me on Facebook or Instagram is Salid Sims, King Shed One. Those that follow me there, they'll know what next week's topic is probably tomorrow or Saturday. But it's gonna be a good one. You guys don't wanna miss it. But yeah, King Shed Productions is the YouTube channel. Follow me on here as well. And I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week next week. Do everything with purpose. Do everything in a spirit of excellence. Love yourself first and keep pressing forward no matter what. Never give up. Keep fighting. Whatever that thing is, just don't let it take you over. Thank you guys. Have a great night. And we done with another one, y'all.